wisdom will get noticed. Discipline and wisdom work hand in hand. Discipline and wisdom work hand in hand. Wisdom is knowledge rightly applied. To know a whole bunch doesn't mean much if you don't apply it properly. There's a lot of smart idiots out there. That's reality. There's a whole lot of smart idiots out there. They have knowledge, but they don't have wisdom because they've not properly applied. Watch this, and let me add something else to that. Wisdom is knowledge rightly applied in the right situations at the right time.
Smart people that make dumb decisions.
There you go. There you go. We've got to learn to make the right decisions at the right time, and that's what wisdom is. Wisdom is the principal thing. It's one of the core things that we've got to get for our lives. Wisdom. And here's why I say that wisdom will get you noticed. Because if you learn to develop wisdom in your life, wisdom will cause you to succeed in places and in ways you never thought you could. And other people will notice your success. I'm going to tell you what scares me sometimes, y'all. Really. I was sharing with someone today. I average about 5 to 10 friend requests on Facebook every single day. That scares me. You know why it scares me? Because I run into some of these people on the streets and they say, I follow your Facebook page. I read the stuff that you write on Facebook all the time. People I don't even know. Never met a day in my life until I happen to run into them on the streets. But what happens is they hear about something that's coming out of me from somebody else, and so they see, or either they'll see it on their page and say, well, I need to connect to him. So they connect and they say, I want to read what he's writing. Wisdom will get you noticed. And you may not be asking for it, but it's a part of the potential that's in you. Watch this. You were applying for jobs and trying to do different things, do some things differently. Well, guess what? Wisdom, and even the way you connected with the lady on the phone, wisdom got you noticed. Of course, we know favor was on top of that, but wisdom got you noticed. Because what would have happened if you'd have been on that phone and you didn't know how to handle yourself, you didn't know how to speak properly, you were just cutting verbs and vowels, doing all that stuff. What if you were doing that? You may not, the wisdom of that moment may not have been on you to ask the right questions, to do the right things, and you wouldn't have what you have today. Do y'all see what I'm trying to show you? Next point. And the reason why I laughed, tell me your name again. Nadine. The reason why I laughed, because I think I may have told you, or I told Miss Jeanette's class, my favorite movie of all times is The Wizard of Oz. That is my absolute favorite movie, because there's so many life lessons in that movie. Well, here's one. Don't get off the path. Uh-oh. Can I give you a quick interjection before I get to don't get off the path? All right, listen to this, y'all. This is another nugget. It's going to be in my book. Y'all get the preview. Watch this. Don't settle for being a big person in a small place. Dorothy was in Munchkinland. When she landed in Munchkinland, right? And when she landed there, she killed the Wicked Witch of the East. Yeah, Wicked Witch of the East. She killed her. House landed on her. And she was celebrated by the people who were smaller than her. It's okay to have your moments of celebration. But be careful that you don't try to live in the place where you landed. Because watch this. Sooner or later, if Dorothy had tried to live in Munchkinland rather than trying to make progress in her life, she'd have figured out real soon that she didn't belong there. How do you know you don't belong there? Because that place was too small for her. Some of you have been on jobs that were too small for you. Some of you are living in housing right now that's too small for you. Time for you to see bigger. Even if it's a journey for you to get there, you got to make the first step to get there. Don't live. Make a resolve. I will no longer live in the place where I landed. Just because circumstances of my life have happened, things have come, I've gone through ups and downs, I've been through a tornado, does not mean that I have to live in the place where I landed. Because sometimes the place where you landed seems good, but it's only good for a moment. It's only good for a season. Then you got to make a move and make the transition. Does that make sense? Now, so then they tell us, so the song of celebration changes, and they say, what next? How do I get back home? Follow the yellow brick road. So what does she take? She takes the first step. Dum, 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 dum.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Thank you. Dum, 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 dum.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Before long, it becomes a song.
Follow.
Thank you. You got it. Follow the yellow brick road. You got to get to a place in your life where you follow the yellow brick road. And you stay on the path. Because watch this. Every time Dorothy got off the path, when she started going to get apples, true enough, she ran into the Tin Man, but when she was going to get apples, she ended up in a detrimental place because she got off the path. They were throwing apples, the trees were throwing apples at her. Why? Because she got off the path. Okay? She ended up delayed. You can put yourself in a position of delay because you get off the path. Y'all remember the poppy field they passed through? Because she got off the path. Let me say this real quick. I got to talk fast. I only got 5 minutes left. But I want you to get this. The important thing is that you don't take shortcuts. When we're talking about discipline, you cannot afford. Write that down. I cannot afford to take shortcuts. The reason why you can't afford to take shortcuts, because in the long way around, there are lessons in the journey. There are valuable, important lessons in your journey that you've got to learn, that you've got to get. And if you take shortcuts, you won't get them. You won't learn them. You won't develop them. And so you'll find yourself being ignorant of things that you should know. Watch this. Write this down. I got to hurry. Goodness. Dorothy's experience taught me 2 things. Number 1, write this down. We can create delays in our journey when we mistake what we want for what we need. We create delays in our journey when we mistake what we want for what we need. Number 2, when it comes to reaching our goals, shortcuts aren't an option. They're not an option. I wrote this about 1.5 years ago, this little quote, and you can, if you can't get it all right now, we'll get it later. But it says, when you reach a turning point, evaluate the turn and decide whether you are going to go in a new direction or not. Listen to this. When you reach a turning point, evaluate the turn, decide whether you're going to go in a new direction or not. Here's why. Some turns we can't afford to take. Some turns we can't afford to miss. Did y'all get that? That makes sense? When you reach a turning point in your life, make sure you evaluate the turn. Decide whether you need to go in a new direction or not. Because some turns you can't afford to take. Some turns you can't afford to miss. All right. What does experience teach us? Experience teaches us what to keep and what to let go. It teaches us what to embrace and what to reject. It teaches us what to keep doing and what to never do again. The last thing I want to share with you all tonight, and I thank you for your attention on this, and I hope this has really helped somebody. The last thing I want to share with you, and these are very, very important things, and I want you to grab this. These are very, very important. There are the 3 phases of discipline. I don't have much time to get into those, but I'm going to tell you what they are, and I'll give you the gist of each one. Number 1, the first phase, you run into, it's if you're running a race. The first phase, the first hurdle to discipline, is discouragement. Have any of you ever taken on an exercise program? You said you wanted to lose some weight, you started exercising, and the day after you took the exercise program, you started exercising, your body hurt? Day number 2, your body hurt? Day number 3, your body hurt? After a while, you gave up because it hurt too much? One of the primary reasons why people stop is because discipline sometimes hurts. It makes us uncomfortable. It hurts. The first time you decide, I'm not going to cuss that person out, everything in you is going, I want to tell them off. The first time you decide that just because you go to the club and you're not going to try and talk to that girl or that dude, everything in you, because you're used to being that way, says, I want to talk to him or her. But they may not be good for my life. I got to go. And you're walking away going, none of y'all have been there, so y'all don't understand. So, hurdle number 1, it hurts too much. It's discouragement. Discouraged because it hurts too much. Number 2, disappointment. Watch this. The second hurdle is disappointment. But let me show you something. That hurdle is not as high as you think it is. That's a hurdle that you can actually step over. Let me tell you why. Because when it comes down to disappointment, the reason why we get disappointed is because it's not happening fast enough. That is the second hurdle to our discipline. The second thing that blocks our discipline is the hurdle of disappointment. It's not happening fast enough. Stay the course. Keep going. This hurdle is as simple as reminding yourself that anything worth having takes time, effort, and energy. Last one. Last one. The third hurdle to your discipline is distractions. Discipline does not come in the absence of distractions. It is actually developed and revealed by your ability to walk through them. And I'm going to give this analogy real quick, and I'll close with that. I want to give this quick story or analogy. When you go to a car lot has cars on it, and on the window of the car, there's a sticker that gives you city mileage, gas mileage, highway gas mileage, right? City mileage is usually lower than highway, right?
Right.
Okay, so here it is. The reason why city driving expends more gas is because you have the energy of the stop and the go. And if you're not careful in your life, it's okay. See, all the forces that are working against you don't mind you stopping and going. It's okay. You stop, you go. You stop, you go. But the danger of being a stop and go person is you can quickly run out of gas.
Preach it, bro. Preach it.
So you run out of gas. So you got to stop and refuel more often because you're going to stop and go. But what happens if you make the decision, I'm going to keep going and I'm going to let go of what makes me stop? That's the power of continual discipline in your life. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.